And welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Tuesday, September the 29th. All the bugs, operator error bugs on this end have been taken care of. And it's time now for the garden party with the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen from DeBruyn Seed in Zeeland. And if you have a question for her, she'll be happy to take it at 395-1450, 395-1450. She joins us now from DeBruyn Seed on Washington and Elm, downtown Zeeland. Good morning, Jan.
Good morning, Gary.
Sorry, I had a little confusion here. Hit the wrong button and sending you the invite back. Now I got everything in order, and so we are connected. Yay.
Yay.
And if you have a question for Jan, she'll be happy to take it at 395-1450, 395-1450. We're getting a break from the rain, but as I said last week, and I think you agreed with me, and we're in the middle of some rain that we needed for our gardening and agricultural friends. But of course, I always look at the cloud around it, and the cloud being mosquitoes might come out more and more because we have more water around here.
That is always a possibility, and it doesn't have to be 90 degrees for the mosquitoes to come out, folks. So do be very cognizant of the fact that we now have standing water out there. If you got standing water anywhere in your yard, the mosquito dunk, something's got to go in there so the larvae don't explode into mosquitoes. It can be put in bird baths, but just get rid of any standing water. When you go out, make sure you are protected with something that has DEET in it or something that is registered that actually does do something. Don't use, hand cream, because I think that keeps it away. Don't do that. Use something that works, especially on your kids. These mosquitoes come out at night that carry EEE. So, be a little more careful around the evening hours. And if you've got horses or whatever, make sure they are vaccinated.
Now, the thing is, a killing frost would take care of the mosquitoes, also take care of our harvest. So that's not necessarily
Yeah, we don't
good.
want that yet.
But yet, with temperatures predicted for later in the week to fall to the upper 30s, can that help sort of keep the mosquito counts down?
That can help. So we're hoping for it. I hate to say that. I don't want it to go much below that right now, but yes, that would be nice.
If you got a question for the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll take it at 395-1450, 395-1450. One of the points you brought up, and it ties in with the fact that even though today doesn't look like a rainy day, Raining on My Parade, it's an online seminar by Michigan State University's Extension Office. And tell us all about that's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's coming up on October 14, and it's from 11 to noon. It's part of a series that they're doing, for backyard gardeners and people that want to do something, when they're stuck at home. And you're gonna learn the best way to landscape around shorelines. If you've got a pond or a lake by you, or soggy or boggy areas, it's going to tell you what to plant, native plants that will do well in the area. Attract some butterflies, some bees, some pollinators, some natural habitat for the normal animals around. You have to register for this at events.anr.msu.edu/wild backyard. It's $5. These sessions are really well worth it. They provide you with lots of handouts. They answer a lot of your questions, and they're given by really knowledgeable professors. So this is something if you've got a soggy or boggy area, something to look into. And what is he doing back there? Oh, no, he's just in the window.
Okay.
I heard noise. What's he up to?
Yeah, Mr. Butternut, just reigning over his regalness. Good morning. You're on the line with the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Thank you. I have two questions about hydrangeas. The first is, when is the best time to transplant? And the other one is, when is the best time and how do I trim them? Thank you.
I appreciate the call. Thank you very much for the call. Go ahead, there, Jan.
Okay, it would be a good time right now to transplant them. It's cool enough. I still wouldn't do it, if we have a hot afternoon, I wouldn't do it then. But morning or evening, great time to dig them up and put them somewhere else. As far as trimming goes, kind of depends on what kind you have, but it's basically just a haircut right now. You can take some branches all the way down to the ground if they look like they're dead or they look like they aren't doing much. You can take those all the way down to the ground. The rest of them just go back to that first set of leaves, and there might be a little swelling there already. That's where the new bud for next year is going to go down. So basically just a little, it's like a little off the top right now for hydrangeas.
Good morning. You're on the line with the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning. Jan, I've talked with you about this before. It's Asian lilies that are real high, and they need to be divided. Would next week be too late to do that? The leaves are still green.
Oh, I would say next week would be a wonderful time to do that. I wouldn't worry about that at all.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Right.
have fun with that.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. We have another couple more minutes if you have a question for the master gardener. Let's focus and continue our focus on rainy situations as we started our conversation, and the fact that the rain basically has cut the dryness that we've had for much of the month of September down a little bit. Not enough, obviously, to remedy a lot of situations such as browning, stress, and stress in the shrubs and perennials, but at least it does help.
It does help, but remember, if it did get brown and stressed, that's going to have to be probably cut out. Might want to sit back and watch it for just a little bit, see if you get some new green buds on those areas. If you do, fine. Just make sure those shrubs especially go to winter being well watered and well taken care of. You might want to put some fertilizer around them, but make sure they're well watered. If we get another dry spell, bring buckets of water out there or get that hose out there and make sure they're well watered. Check for insects too. Spider mites have been a big problem. And if you see little webbing on there, you might want to come quick get some spider mite. I was going to say medication. Spider mite insecticide to get rid of those because they can cause quite a problem also.
Another thing, and I'm trying to stay on things that would be in a water situation or watering situation. Are we getting to the point now where some of the plants that and some of the vegetables that we normally would have outdoors, time to say goodnight, put them to bed, or is it still available to sort of keep them around and keep them awake a little bit longer?
Well, you can keep some things around and awake a little longer. Lettuce and spinach, obviously, you can keep those going. And the greens, carrots, turnips, you can keep those guys going right now, unless they're just too waterlogged. Then I would say forget it. Let's just call this a wash right now. But as long as it can stay dry enough and well drained enough, you still can say okay to some of the things. But right now is the time to plant garlic. So you got a place to plant some garlic. Get some garlic in the ground right now, and you'll harvest it next summer, and that's fun to do.
There are other things we need to discuss with the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen. We will do so in a few moments, but let's get one more call before we end the segment. Good morning. You're on the line with the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm wondering, I have a cherry tomato plant that's still hanging out on my patio in a pot, and it still has some red. Well, I got all the red ones off, but if I take the green ones off, will they ripen or are they done?
No, you can ripen them inside if you'd like. If you want to say, hey, I've had enough of it, but you can wrap them in newspaper, and the ethylene gas that they give off will actually ripen them inside the newspaper. So, yeah, take them off. Take as many off as you can.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Yes.
Well, you enjoy your day. God bless you
Oh,
both.
All right. Thank you very
thank
much for the
you.
call at 395-1450. We'll take more calls for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, in a little more than an hour from now with the Yard and Garden segment on WHTC's Talk of the Town program. And of course, Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show at 11 o'clock or so Saturday mornings here on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. Jan, thank you very much for joining us for now, and I'll look forward to chatting with you again a little after 10.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you very much. That's Jan Meeuwsen, the Master Gardener, on Real News Now, 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.